Right, growing figs, Auckland, New Zealand, late summer 2025. This is my oldest tree, around 3 to 4 years old. Brown turkey. I've planted it in an area that seeps water from a stream through this bank, so it's quite damp in this area. Tree is just on the side of it, so it's my best grown fig. These are the main crop figs. This tree tried to grow some braver figs but didn't hold them. You can see the first main crop fig just starting to ripen. It certainly takes advantage of that groundwater. And up here a bit I have a San Pedro fig. It's only been in the ground a year, but it's growing well. Had one braver fig. It's growing some main crop figs, but probably shouldn't ripen them being a San Pedro fig. I believe in certain instances main crop figs on a San Pedro fig can ripen without pollination by the fig wasp. I've taken a few suckers from this fig and got them growing in pots. Let's put up another one. Over here I have a Grosse Longue Verte fig. Gave me my best tasting fig last year. Put out these main crop figs, and now it's put out a second lot of main crop figs. I don't know whether they will ripen, the second lot. And just here is a Black Mission fig. It's only been in a year. A Mrs. Williams fig. This area is a bit drier, so they're a bit slower growing. Has a few figs on it, the Mrs. Williams. And I have a Adriatic fig there. Another Black Mission fig just there. Another Adriatic fig holding one fig. Another San Pedro, and a Black Mission, which is quite a few figs on it. And it's just starting to ripen them. It's been a dry summer this year, so the figs aren't that big, but Probably the drier summer is a more favourable condition for figs, so they might be better tasting. This is a French sugar, which is similar to a brown turkey, I'm told. And then a Panache tiger fig with the stripy figs. It's taken a long time to get going, this one, been in a few years. It's only put out a few fruit in that time. And a Brunswick fig. Also a few figs on it. Also just starting to swell up. So I believe once they swell up, they generally swell up almost double the size. Once they swell up, it can be 1 to 14 days before they get to that ripe stage where they're just nice and squishy and floppy. And sometimes they put out a bit of nectar out of the ostiole. Also tells you they're ready. Figs on this tree tend to be bigger again to the brown turkey figs. This one seems to like its spot, it's grown quite well. It's another San Pedro fig, just trying to lean it over, away from the kawa. This is another Mrs. Williams fig. Brown turkey fig in the middle of the bush. Had a few figs last year but hasn't put anything on this year. They really get covered in these vine hoppers from time to time. Another black mission fig. Hasn't been in the ground a year yet, but seems to like this spot for some reason. Whereas this brown turkey and Panache fig, interestingly enough, have been in the ground, were planted the same time as the initial brown turkey fig we looked at and the Panache fig we looked at up the top there. But the growing right beside the stream, doesn't make any difference if the soil is quite clayey. So the brown turkey up the top has held all its fruit and they're growing well, starting to ripen. This brown turkey has, with the dry summer, has lost some fruit. They just go light in colour and go quite squishy and just drop off. You can see them on the ground. And I have a couple more figs up here, only been in the ground a year or so. They take a while to establish. Another French sugar and a Malta fig. Seems to struggle just there. And those are the figs.